Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to A House of Many Doors. It's just, it's just a pleasant, happy, fun time every single time we come in here, really reinforced by the music. So we're still in Mirrorwise. We're gonna wander the streets again, because it was such a good time last time. It worked out so well for us. And we get the same event. What did we get last time? It wasn't like a very good reward. I'm going to watch the knacker as he dies this time. We're going to just see what the other option gives us. The knacker struggles weakly upon his hook, a just-pinned butterfly. You flip open a notepad, click your pen, and observe the demise of a god-killer. He dies just like an unthreaded human in the end. Perhaps because his thread is caught in the machine behind him. You note that it hangs more limply from usual as it emerges from the corners of his mouth, his fingertips, and his eyes. Is that how it's attached? I had just sort of assumed that it was marionette, because they were described as being marionette-like, and that's obviously the image they're conjuring, so I was figuring it was at, like, the wrists and the, Blech. Everything about this place is so gross, and I hate it here. Let's leave. Did I play with my pet already? I played with my pet already. Okay, let's get the hell out. Ooh. Good price on fuel. Okay, let's be somewhere else now. Perhaps forever. So my plan was to go back to Bissus. Right, there's a dancing god to be freed. And obviously you can trust a dancing god. Dolly, please, cheer up. Nope. Hours of coaxing and joking do nothing. Eventually you are forced to leave poor Dolly Piper behind. Her wails of grief are soon lost on the breeze. Cool, great, I'm so glad that I stopped. We went to such trouble to not sacrifice her to the threaded that we ran into, and... Hey, is that a bloodstained monolith there? An abducted obelisk. I don't really want to sacrifice... don't want to sacrifice my Mycena prisoner to the stone. Why do we even have a prisoner? I'm not reading the runes. We're leaving. Hey, prisoner? Do you want to stop being a prisoner? Would you like to join the crew? Welcome aboard. See, I'm sure he thought he was gonna die, and now instead he's mopping. So, listen, most people aren't happy to mop, but this represents an increase in his situation, right? It's an improvement. Okay, we found a golem. Great. You know what I always need is more golems. I guess we do have a golem cannon. Am I over far enough now? I went one too far. These things happen. Do you guys have any information? Nope. I am pretty curious about... we can't actually free the god, right? Because he's in the art for the city. I mean, I guess it could be the case that maybe the city has multiple arts, depending on how you... Maybe? Doesn't seem likely to me, though. I guess they could just say that you freed him without it being a thing where they actually have to change a thing. Alright, so we found here a horned skull. A cold fist clenches in your stomach. Something about this thing makes you feel like the back of your teeth are being scraped. Ah. Ooh, that's actually very unpleasant. Let's look inside, I guess, but I'm not happy that I'm here. As you approach the skull, you are swallowed in a rush of darkness. You find yourself falling through visions of titanic figures locked in a flickering, headache-inducing battle you can only somewhat comprehend. You recognize some of the warriors. Nahash the Serpent, miles of scale and sinew, its skin notched with 1,000 crowded bookshelves. That's a cool idea. We'd never, I think, had never heard anything about Nahash before. All we knew that he was the book guy. Willow Pan, the son of stars, bright and merry and wielding a sword of light. They're battling some colossal horned beast, and they're losing badly. Books and bright blood scatter the floor. The tide only turns when a flock of angels descend on the beast, biting and scratching, bringing it to the floor even as it swats them like flies. For some reason, this has harmed our reputation with both of them? Okay. Your crew have been trying to rouse you for hours. Weird. That's weird in a whole bunch of different ways. Alright, we're gonna do our best to avoid these dudes. But I really do want to go out the southern entrance here. Yeah, pretty bummed out about that. That's not how that should have worked. Okay. Let's, real quick... First of all, wander the streets. Okay. Praise Thread, we saw that one already. And then, it's not very cheap to recover my sanity here, but okay, well, let's at least spend some time with our pet. Yeah, I'm not happy about this. Alright, let's show the dancing god our crazy box in a dream. Thou hast done excellently, says the God King on his golden throne. Most of the vessels in the Empire are to be found at Philomon. Travel there and open the box, allowing the souls of thy kin to return to their bodies. Long ago I weakened my bonds enough to escape, but I knew that if I did I would just be recaptured. This will prove the distraction I need to get away. Okay. Feels like I could have done that from anywhere, really. I mean, dreams are not a cell phone, I guess, but like, they could have been. Also, my teeth feel bad. I don't like the thing that happened. I don't like that description we read. Alright, I think we're cool to just leave. So we gotta find Philomon, though. Which we don't know where that is, right? And that's Word Hunter's Hearth. This is something else. I don't even know what that is. We were supposed to already know where Philomon was. So we saw it on somebody's map. But I don't actually see it. I'm assuming that all of the thread places are in here. That's Carnage and Rust. Yeah, is Philomon supposed to have been marked on our map by that quest? I would imagine so, right? If he's telling you to go to a place and do a thing, you would think he would tell you where the place was. Well... I mean, am I missing something? Misericord, the library, Caloram, Mergulus... I guess let's just kind of like wander east for a while? But if we're going to just wander, I probably should recover some of my sanity. I do not like the cost of this, but I don't know that we have that much of a choice. Because it's gonna be tough out there, right? Alright. Pretty much exactly back at full. Our train has immediately crashed. No, really? It's not. I wasn't close enough for the interaction. There we go. A tome. You can never have enough tomes. Okay, we'll go south a little bit. Oh, think that. Oh no, maybe they weren't after us. I don't know. I want to go south a little bit before we start heading east, and we'll just wander east until we hit the doors, I guess. I was planning on going south around that rock, but okay. It is weird how much the train slows down if you ever get kind of close to an object. I don't really know what the purpose of that is. Maybe it's just generally trying to make it harder to evade stuff. I feel like the skulls seem pretty negative. Let's interact with a couple more, just to see if maybe there's a rare interaction that's good. But I think we might start avoiding these the way we avoid the cairns, because it doesn't seem like there are any real rewards for interacting with them. And it's really easy to lose a crew member. Okay, so that didn't take long. Found ourselves a door. Out of curiosity, are we... Yes, we are in the column there. Okay, well it looks like we also maybe have found Philomon. Okay. Can't hide it from us forever. The gateway to the rest of the Empire. where the unthreaded are forbidden to tread. It's right up against the wall. How is it the gateway to the rest of the Empire? Is the rest of the Empire No, the rest of the Empire is not beyond the door, beyond the lock. So we've been in the other parts of the Empire. This is not positioned in such a way that this text makes any sense. Gateway is no metaphor. The entire city is built atop and inside a gate, which fills the room from floor to wall to ceiling. Predictably, the Empire has lined their gate with the spiked heads of gods. Yeah, that does make sense. Each looks immensely tired, and regal, and sad. Then we gathered news. A threaded citizen mistakes you for a mindless vessel. You can eavesdrop on her conversation for a while. News from the Empire beyond Philomon. With the Imperator dead, distant colonies are restless. Groups advocating an end to god butchery are springing up, though always brutally suppressed. Many are blaming these rebellions on the critical lack of thread. Well, there can't be that much of a lack of thread. I know where you can go and just buy extra. The threaded citizen notices you are listening, and stops speaking so freely. Then we just wander around a little bit. The Empire tolerates unthreaded within its borders as long as they take care of various menial tasks and don't make too much noise. Traffic through Philomenor's main thoroughfare is currently held up by a sign-waving unthreaded who has clearly forgotten that second condition. "It is not real!" he screams, pointing up at the towering gate which dominates the city. "There is no further Empire beyond!" Several threaded citizens glide toward him with terrible purpose. You turn away as he is lifted up and eviscerated. The mood here is ugly. Best that an unthreaded doesn't stay too long. So I guess the place with the dancing god is not part of the Empire, and they do mean, when they say this is the gateway to the rest of the Empire, they do mean that, like, east through the locked door is where the proper Empire is. We can definitely interact with a pet. Let's dog. Let's dog this time. We could combine our unsettling conjectures into a dread machination. We need conjectures for something, don't we? Oh, no, I guess not. I did upgrade or update the log with the stuff needed for propitiation. I thought there was something where we needed like a handful of the different story types, though. You know what? I'm gonna ponder these conjectures. Okay, got ourselves 15 apprehensions and some dread machinations. And then I think at this point, it's probably time to do the thing. Let's see what havoc this unleashes. You head to the Valorous Man's Hospital, a tower of whitewashed concrete that sticks from the gate city like an upraised thumb. This is where most vessels in the Empire are housed. As you enter the reception, the threaded man behind the desk looks up at you with weary irritation. "Can we get a handler out here, please?" he demands into a handset. "One of the vessels has wandered out into the lobby again." Yeah, I'm gonna pretend to be a vessel, I think. Stare vacantly, don't scratch your nose, no matter how itchy. A threaded woman in a white coat walks into the lobby. She's leading a group of unthreaded men and women behind her, each dressed in a threadbare white shift and staring blankly at their feet. They shuffle after the threaded woman unquestioningly. "Come on, vessel," says the threaded woman, grabbing you roughly by the arm and pushing you in line with the others. "Follow, follow!" You get in line as the vessels trudge listlessly down a long, gleaming corridor. The doctor leads you into a ward, where a warrior hangs half dead at the end of his thread. From his necklace of teeth, you assume he must be a god hunter. "Hurry up," grumbles the hunter, wincing. His abdomen has been slashed open and inexpertly bandaged. His blood puddles on the floor. This seems like our moment. I'm gonna open the lockbox. The padlock and chains have rusted near to nothing. You snap them off with ease. The lid flies open. The box shatters. A roaring cloud of ghosts blossom forth and fly into the mouths and nostrils of the expressionless vessels. The men and women don't return to emotion and consciousness. They don't gasp or weep or stare at their hands in shock. Instead, they begin to change. Clusters of teeth poke through the skin on their foreheads. Their eyes expand like balloons. Worm-like tendrils of flesh rip through their clothing, swelling into tentacles covered in laughing human mouths. The threaded doctor is speared by an enormous hooked blade of a fingernail. That is not what I thought was going to happen. Run. Yes, run is good. Run seems wise. The hospital collapses behind you, flooding the streets of Philomon in rubble. Flesh tentacles as long as rainbows unspool from the wreckage, arcing over the cityscape, slamming down on rooftops. Everything becomes dust and panic. The next few minutes are just a series of vague impressions. Screams, flames spitting through the air, hundreds of threaded figures, warrior and civilian alike, flying up to battle the flesh beasts emerging from the hospital. You dash through the convulsing city, dodging the occasional falling brick, leaping over the cracks in the street. Finally, you make it back to your condentipede and order a quick getaway. Well, that was certainly, we made a big distraction. Not at all what I thought was going to occur, and the sort of thing that you would think would leave a permanent mark on Philomon, but something tells me that when we come back here later, it will be as though it never happened. I'm just gonna... It feels like we should leave, probably. Here at the hospital, we can buy laudanum. We do need a soporific draft. Is it just one? Let me see. Where on my list was that? One. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. I think this is the only place we've seen where you could buy those, right? Could you buy those in Failbetter Quinn? It would seem appropriate, right? I don't know. We have one now, is the important thing. Okay, time to be somewhere else. Not allowed to go east. We are against the east wall. So we want to go back to the Jagged... no, we want to go back to Bissus, right? I think. I'm curious I'm curious how different it will be. Oh, that thing is directly between me and the place I would like to be. Fortunately, they are pretty slow. It feels like everything. Everything is pretty slow. We are going to make an absurd amount of money when we get back to the City of Keys. We have so much news from so many places so far away. These seem to be basically never worth interacting with, but he is right on our way. Nope, stop. Just a minor, it's a minor causality failure there. It's a little self-collision, no big deal. Okay, this next one should be it, I think. Hooray, a meandering treatise. Absolutely worth risking our lives for. Well, the giant's still in the art. But it says the dancing god is missing from the city's horizon. Hey, maybe we actually made a change here. Bissus has changed. Half the buildings are smoldering wrecks, and the rest have bullet holes in the brick. You pass an entire street that lies in ruins. Several corpses have been impaled in the center square. One of the dead bodies is the Imperatrix herself, uncrowned, her purple-black scab armor cracked like a crab shell. Hey, just grab a random guy nearby. Hey, what's happening? I don't have time to chat to an unthreaded, sneers one of the threaded citizens you ask. The rest hurry past without even bothering to reply. That's kind of what I thought would happen. Alright, to the tower. As you near the tower, you spot the dancing god's outstretched corpse. Several buildings have been flattened beneath his vast dead bulk. A peaceful smile is spread across his face. Several of the threaded are already working at him with a bone saw, carrying meat and bone away on wheelbarrows. A tap on your shoulder. You turn to see a bald threaded you don't recognize, wearing a crown of teeth upon his head. "Ah, you must be the unthreaded," he says. "You are a most useful tool. We needed something to distract the Imperatrix from our coup." "Oh, I thought I was... Sorry, who are you?" "Once I had the honor to be the assiduous slaughterer, the chief of the knackers. I am now the Imperator of Thread." "Ah, so all along I was just providing distraction for a coup." "The souls you retrieved from the shambles were not the souls of vessels." "Oh, you don't say!" "They were the souls of dead gods, much more powerful. The Imperatrix was forced to send all her most loyal troops to Philomon to deal with the outbreak. And that's when we struck. The previous Imperator was a great man, and it was a shame to kill his daughter. But the fact we were able to defeat her proves that she was too weak." "That's, the dancing god promised me secrets, gold, and power." "The threaded do not forget their obligations. A promise made is a promise kept. The bald man waves to his servants, who bring forward a golden golem beetle with wings of glittering diamond. It chitters and flies to your shoulder. Gold. Secrets. The servants lay a scroll down at on the ground at your feet. When you read it later, you will discover a detailed summary of the schemes of the clandestine. And power. Finally, the servants lay a steel scepter at your feet. It buzzes with some innate energy. The very sight of it is enough to make your hair stand on end. And our business concludes. You are lucky, Unthreaded. Fleas such as yourself rarely influence the history of our empire. Do not test your luck by attempting to do so again. So we got an undreamt treasure. That's the first time we've actually seen one of these. And we, honestly, like 3 of them we could use immediately. Pretty happy to have it, and that's a lot of apprehensions, some other stuff. Got a lot of dread machinations here, in real short order. The Imperator turns away with a sniff. Well, I guess that'll do. We did something. I feel a little bad for the dancing god. I'm also a little surprised that they let you just, the second you show up, do a quest that removes the main point of the city art from the city. I sort of can't believe they had it in them. Alright, well, we're certainly not giving you my undreamt treasure or my thing, so I guess we're just leaving. Again, I'm pretty sure that we wanted witch glass for something, but I don't remember what. And now that we know where to get it, it's not such a big deal. If we find it later and we can just come back and buy some more. So I suppose we're just done here. Not really a good reason for us to go back to Mergulus. We've been to Caloram already. We could go to Athena. Athena's a real city and will give us some real news. I mean, we may as well swing through Mergulus on the way, because I believe it was cheaper to restore sanity in Mergulus, right? Maybe? I don't know. It does feel like we're having a big effect on the world around us. We're doing big, significant things. We're finding lots and lots of books. So to propitiate Nahash, which we can no longer do because we lost a point of divine scrutiny, but we can get it back. We needed quite a few different kinds of books. We must be pretty close. Let's see, it was... Oh, we do need a deadly poison for that as well, which I don't think we have. Do we get that from the spider circus? Why did I do this? I know I don't want to interact with this thing. I think you can buy deadly poison at the spider circus, if I remember correctly. And the other parts of the propitiation are pretty straightforward. But we do need to get a point of Nahash's scrutiny back. Well, I just went right past it. We should probably turn around and... I thought I was far enough over. Because I'm very spacey. We should probably swing through. And then finally get out of the southernmost reaches of the map, which I feel like we've been in for many episodes. Alright, yeah, let's do some of this. Wander the streets a bit. It's the same event again. Okay, and then we may as well actually completely fill our sanity, which is fun. A couple units of fuel. Okay. So Athena is Athena directly above us? Athena is one tile over. This is Caloram. Yeah, we were in Caloram already. I just looked at the map. I already figured this stuff out. It has been seconds. And yet somehow it all escapes me. We really desperately need a surgeon. So yeah, I think my conjecture that you simply don't heal at all if there's no surgeon on board is probably right. Okay, we found our way back out of the Empire. Or, sorry, the anti-Empire? The little bits before the real Empire, which is through the door, potentially, maybe. I wonder if the, It's also possible that the positions of the rooms are randomized. I don't actually know. It might be the case that sometimes Philomon occurs in a place where that makes it being the gateway to the Empire makes more sense. Because, I mean, I could see that being the case. It just being, the house being heavily randomized. And just, like, the bottom right area is the Empire of Thread, and spawn all of the Empire of Thread cities somewhere within it. Oh, oh good, the bats! I've forgotten about the bats. Silly me. We may as well drop the bucket, because staring down the well is, it gives Abja, not Nahash, right? How did we get all of our Nahash scrutiny? Was it deciphering tomes? It might have been. I mean, if we were already at the point of propitiation, I'm sure we can get back there. And again, I'm not clear why me having that dream reduced my favor with those two gods in the first place. But I definitely want to be on the good side of the snake who's made of libraries. That's awesome. An obsidian statue. I do not care for this statue. Destroy it. Cobblestone loves it when you break a statue. Are we close on Cobblestone? A blood-soaked monolith, a sanctioned scripture... Okay, unfortunately, propitiating Cobblestone requires a couple of things that we just don't know where to get. I don't know where to get a sanctioned scripture or trypanic fluid. I mean, I have a vague idea what trypanic fluid is, but it seems like, I don't think we've ever seen it before. Alright, the lake stirs. Oh, people are trying to steal my swabby. I demand you release my dude. We are just merchants buying from our supplier. This is not a sacrifice, it is a transaction. Why not join us in drowning this poor fool? You will be rewarded. No, that's my crew. Oh, you are a valued customer. We will release your employee if you promise to recommend our wares to all your friends. Sure. Whatever it takes. Alright, gather news. A cauldron of boiling sugar has overturned, burning the flesh from a dozen workers. The treacle mines have been closed amid authorities' fear of an accident on the same scale as the Makara disaster. The hooded merchants were seen wandering at night. In all things, defer to the hooded ones. It's not really my style, but you know. When in Rome. Let's chat with Waif. She has lots of questions. Okay, I think that's really all we needed to do here. I do think it's fun that you can buy a terrible secret. We really don't need one, though. So I guess we're good to just go. We have some interesting options back home, now that we have an undreamt treasure. We have the oils and perfumes necessary for the, to do the quest with the scary thing in the City of Knives, but we still don't have the angel wine. The other stuff we needed an undreamt treasure for... the Prince's Heart. The Prince's Heart thing we could totally do now. And finally, of course, I wanted to put one in the museum, because it lacks beauty. At least, that's what we're told. But I don't know, man. Okay, so this is the part of the house we have to be really careful with, so we don't accidentally wander into a door. Alright, well, let's go to Makara. We can swing by Makara. Hey, leave me alone. And then we have a new place to go, and we should definitely go to the new place. Oh, this is going to be a little awkward. Trying not to crash into anything as we come through here. Hey, look at that. I mostly did it. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to catch up with Spider-Man. Wow, that's, pretty far north for a wasp. I mean, I guess we're not that far from Scornvaunt. Good, great. Solid steering there. That was all me, by the way. Very, very difficult to blame the game for that one. I just ran into the giant mushroom. In my defense, you know, it'd be easier to steer away if you could see it coming from a little bit more of a distance. Alright, gather news. Hop from roof to roof for a while, you know, that's always fun. You come across a mass of sugar-glazed corpses floating like a raft, bumping gently against the roof. And you remember that this is the site of a tragedy. Yeah, I had forgotten somehow? Well, I guess we should search the corpse. They might have stuff. They don't need stuff. I need their stuff. You climb down and pick through the mass of petrified bodies, searching for something that glints. You're given quite a start, though, when one of the corpses you're searching opens its eyes, mere inches away from your face. You fall back, cursing. It's a ghoul. It must have reanimated after it drowned beneath the treacle, and now it's trapped in a sugar-glazed prison. How long has it been here? How could you just leave it? Who would do that? Of course chip the ghoul free. The sugar glaze needs a chisel and hammer before it can be broken through. I'm sure we have them. The ghoul is pathetically grateful. Oh, I thought I might be there forever, he groans, clutching at you like a sailor in a storm. That's true, sailors in storms are always clutching at me. Can I join your crew? He asks, once he's recovered slightly. I have nowhere else to go, and I owe you my freedom. We are a little full up right now. You go, have a good time by yourself, away from me. Let's cuddle a rhinoceros, and then decipher a tome. Okay, yeah, we got our divine scrutiny back. And 3 more cultural knowledge Mycenae. Nobody knows as much about Mycenae as I do, not even the Mycenae. So, 1 deadly poison, 2 grimoires, 2 codices, 2 treatises, and 2 tomes. I think we have most of that stuff. I think we're just missing the poison. That said, why does it need a poison? One might ask. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother looking. Why bother? Okay, north? We know that this is safe. We still need to fight factory men. Listen, we're close. We're close to coming back. Aha! 3 warding iron, 3 witch glass, and 1 deactivated golem. That is what we... Okay, well, let's go buy the witch glass. I thought for sure that I was losing my mind. Do we have to go all the way back to... We do have to go all the way back to Bissus, don't we? Well, you know what? We'll be down here again. I don't care enough to go back right now. It doesn't matter, probably. Alright, so west twice before north a lot. So as not to accidentally get stuck in the maze of doors. Hey, let's check out this helicopter crash. We got a dangerous beast. Another dangerous beast. Even more dangerous than Cromlech, if you can believe it. That charming monster. I am pretty curious about this place that we're going, the new place. It's called Slaughter and Rust or something? What kind of place would be called a thing like that? You would not expect a town to be named in that way. Maybe it's like a... Maybe it's an establishment of some kind? It's a place where they sell power tools. Listen, they may not be in the best condition, but they'll kill a guy. Come on down. I mean, because you know, nobody in this place would use power tools to, like, build stuff. No, gargoyles, unfortunately, have a real lack of information. We are in the right column, right? Okay. This could be very annoying if we don't do it right. I mean, it is interesting that you can get behind the doors. If I wasn't doing this for a series, I might spend some time mapping out the maze of one-way doors and just seeing if we could get somewhere interesting. Because my suspicion is that it's not supposed to work that way. My guess is that it's supposed to be an area that is actually all the way locked off, so that you actually need a key to get behind it. And I think it's probably just screwed up, and I think we could probably, given enough time, a little bit of trial and error, we could probably take real advantage of the fact that it's screwed up in the way that it is. So actually, it looks like we could just go pretty much... Oh, it's Carnage and Rust, not Slaughter and Rust. My mistake. I mean, we could just go straight north. Actually, the position that it's in, it looks like we'd be best off going over here, hitting the Scars of Shang and like all this stuff, and then coming back, hitting it on the way back. So yeah, let's do that. We'll go north 2 more times and then start going diagonally. That looks like it should be safe. Aha! Vintage Angel Wine. I'll take it. So now we actually do have the stuff for wooing the scenic. Maybe that's how we'll use our undreamt treasure. Because I'm pretty curious, like, what exactly will happen in that quest. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do with this undreamt treasure, and we'll just have to hope that we can stumble across some more. I mean, the thing we did there to earn this. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't want to reset because we have the angel wine. So, we have this fetch mirror, right? I still have my fetch mirror. We can just, I think, just use it. I can also cuddle my rhinoceros. I think we can just use the fetch mirror from right here. But this is very fucking dumb. Travel through the Mirrorwise to... Can I only go to the cities? No, there's lots of places we could go. Okay. I mean, do we want to just go back to Bissus? Then, if we have to teleport anyway, just go back and buy the Witch Glass now? Yeah, alright. A journey through the Mirrorwise is much quicker than traveling through the house by Kinetipede, but in its own way, it is equally perilous. The silver glass shatters as you step through it. This is a one-way journey. You find yourself in a backward echo of your quarters, but when you open the door, the Mirrorwise beyond is a chaos of tidal colors and hungry kaleidoscope joy. Your fear grows beneath your feet as prickling blades of violet grass. Except for those pockets solidified by an in-looking mirror, the Mirrorwise is as shapeless and changing as a capricious sea. What will be your anchor? Well, we have lots of stat points here. How about perseverance? Just keep your head down, 1 foot in front of the other. Your stolid unwillingness to engage with the Mirrorwise's nonsense becomes your strength. A rain of burning paper, you flick the ash away irritably. The ground becomes an infinite jungle of grasping hands. You crunch fingers beneath your boots. Ugh. Tides of raw color and light break overhead. You look at your feet. It takes a long time, but you stumble upon your destination eventually. It does seem like the most boring way to go through the Mirrorwise, though. The real world seems painfully pale in comparison. Okay, this is the right place, right? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Cargo capacity not quite full. May as well wander the streets while we're here. A new threaded has been accepted. No big surprise. Am I allowed to... No, I am not allowed to play with my pet again, despite the fact that 2 weeks did pass there. Alright, well then I guess we will just leave. I'm very annoyed by the damn door bug. Okay, so... if we just head straight north from here, we're gonna end up in trouble again. Alright. We need to go west like 3 tiles and then head north for a very, very long time. Like an annoyingly long time. That, the way that occurs, by the way, is another one of the things that makes me pretty sure that it's not supposed to be a weird maze of one-way mirrors, that the thing is, or the one-way doors, rather, that the thing is definitely broken. Sure, take the tablet. Because there's no way that you would just get stuck indoors all the time. Like, there would be some way to interact with it, there would be some writing associated with it. The idea of having gotten stuck inside of a door that wasn't there moments before is a concept that would not just randomly occur in the mechanics. There would be text about it. Because it's kind of a cool idea if it was a thing they were doing on purpose. I'm not even going to bother with this. New Drayton is nearby. Well, okay. Hey, look at that. Sort of a mixed blessing, but a blessing nonetheless. We found another new thing. Boy, these areas are very dense with objects, though. New Drayton. The Empire's grand new experiment, a city at war with its own reflection. Half of New Drayton can only be found by looking through the cracked sheet of witch glass blanketing its floor. A citizen of New Drayton is not respected until they have killed their mirror self, until they can look down and see only a corpse staring back. Yo, that is a wild idea! I guess let's gather news real quick. Faint figures weave within the glass beneath your feet. The threaded citizens above Mirror will speak to you, but they are always glancing down in distraction or fear. The Mirrorwise fights back every day, and New Drayton continues to struggle. Dozens of Mirrorside citizens were killed overnight, their bodies refracted messily across multiple planes. Those still Mirrorside and alive are begging to be allowed to leave. Glass cracks beneath your feet. Your reflection smiles, though you do not. I don't like it. It's very effective, but I don't care for it. The reflection below does not entirely align with the city above. You feel dizzy when you look down at the ceiling. A column of threaded soldiers march past underneath, advancing toward a horde of splintered reflections. You have an excellent view of the soles of the soldiers' feet, but not much else, as they charge toward their mirror battle. Shouts, scuffles, distant explosions. Blood spatters the glass beneath your feet. A crack appears. And then we return to the Kinetipede in a real damn hurry. And I think we're actually done here already, it looks like. I mean, more places discovered, more news to bring home. And here at the halfway house, a shop half real and half mirrored, you must pass between the two to see all the wares, and then the sensation is unpleasant. This boundary should not be violated so routinely. I will buy a new fetch mirror. Apparently this is a much better place to buy witch glass, so a thing that we know now for the future. And I think, let's save the game, because I don't want to make sure we're not just going to get stuck again. And then we could just head north from here. I mean, we may as well go one tile east and go up through Caloram, because we could probably do another, another set of interactions there. Yep, okay. It does still feel very weird to me that there are so many places where those buttons are just empty of text. Oh, these guys don't care about us at all. And then, yeah, we have nothing to do with them either. At this point, we might actually know the whole of the Threaded Empire. All of its little cities here. I will say, oh, shoot, yeah. We could probably afford to drop a golem. That'll buy us some space. So I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've talked about it in this series, but New Drayton plays a little bit on a real irrational fear that I actually have in the real world. I have a thing about mirrors. I'm not a big fan of mirrors, especially big mirrors, because I just don't like... I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like reading too much Slylock Fox as a kid or something. I find myself looking in mirrors for differences, and I'm so... It's not quite on the level of a compulsion. Like, I can make myself stop, but whenever I'm looking in a mirror, I sort of like... I discover that I'm already doing it before I've even thought about it. Looking for things in the reflection that aren't the way they are in the real world, and I definitely have a very real... I've had multiple nightmares about it. Definitely a very real concern that my reflection in the mirror is going to do something that I haven't done. I don't know where that comes from. The human brain's a goddamn nightmare, so, you know, could be any one of a million things. But the thought of a place, like, man, the thought of a place where you're, the manhood ritual, the ritual of growing up and becoming a full person, is killing your mirror self, and then being, oops, I didn't mean to take him prisoner. I don't particularly want to have a prisoner. Well, we'll release him somewhere. But the idea of, from then on, being followed in the reflection by a corpse of yourself, that is so incredibly cool and creepy. Let's travel the canals a little bit. The feast? Sorry, I'm new here. What feast? No, thank you. I don't care much for the feast. And then a test of guts for no reason that has no effect and no outcome. Always a delight. Let's play with a dog. Again, always a delight. And then we may as well rest and recover, because it's nice and cheap to do here. And we were just here. Yeah, we definitely don't need any of this stuff. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Save, so that if we get stuck in a door, we can leave. Or we can only be dropped back this far. So what do we want to do now? Just straight north for some time. I don't know. When I was a kid, I probably saw like a spooky episode of The Twilight Zone or Alfred Hitchcock Presents or something, and I no longer consciously remember it, but it's poisoned my dumb human brain, which is a remarkably easy thing to do. Don't you, spider, you stay away from me. I am broadly pro-spider, but not when they're the size of a train. That seems like a problem to me. Yeah, sure, search for a drink. Blinding hooch, I don't even want that. That's remarkably heavy hooch. It's got to be quite a lot of it, right? Still actually have too much stuff. You know what I don't need is 7 arcane codices. Something tells me that the 7th one probably doesn't have a lot of value. Okay, just librarians. I'm not going to attack a bunch of librarians. I am, broadly speaking, very pro-librarian. Thought about becoming a librarian for a while. When I was a kid. So this is another thing I probably have mentioned at some point in the past. When I was a kid, I had a very powerful love of our local library because we were poor as shit, and that was the only way I was able to... I was a voracious reader, and that was the only way I could possibly still have books. I was reading books far faster than we could buy them. And the library was like a total lifesaver. The library was also... we didn't have a computer in our home of any kind until I was like halfway through middle school, I think. Because again, poor as shit. So the library was the only place I really got to like mess around with a computer. You know, my friends had them and stuff, and we'd like play computer games when we went over to their houses. But just to like have one where I could just like, you know, poke and prod at it and figure it out bit by bit. So there was a period, probably like through middle school, where I was thinking, well, maybe I'll grow up to be a librarian. That seems like a cool thing to do for people, and also just get to be surrounded by all of the books all the time. It's basically heaven. And then at some point I made the dubious decision to decide I wanted to make video games instead, which is... Listen, making video games on sort of an indie scale seems like a great thing, and it's something I'm still interested in. But I definitely, like, went through high school and college with the aim of becoming a professional developer, and then I learned what the video game industry is like, and I changed my mind. Alright, so I think we're just sort of generally headed for Founder's Fire. I think we want to go north, like, one more here, and then start going diagonal, and I think we should be safe. I'm going to give it even one more. Let's really try to get clear of the maze of doors. I'm assuming... Oh, occultist paraphernalia. I was going to say, I'm assuming we'll encounter a guy. Apparently, occultist paraphernalia is heavy. I took a lot of paraphernalia on board, apparently. Let's get rid of... You know what? I'm just going to dump it all. And I'm going to let this guy collide with us. Okay. Was hoping he might bring glad tidings, or indeed, anything at all. Actually, it looks to me like we could probably go one more north even, before turning. Alright, not a big surprise. Alright, let's see if we can... Fingers crossed, everybody. Perform whatever protective enchantments you can. See if we can make it back to civilization without getting stuck in a door eternally. Again, it's a cool idea. If it was on purpose, I'm sure they could do something neat with it. This game is a great example, though, of like what's scary to me about indie development. If you made a thing of any size at all, an experience that is intended to be more than like a couple of hours, how would you ever be able to QA test it? Right? If you're just one person, even if you're getting people to help, it's just like, it seems like in order to find all the bugs in a thing of this scale, it would take so many hours of work and testing, and I really wouldn't, I mean, this is going to sound a little meaner than I mean it to be, but I really wouldn't want to release a thing that's quite as broken as this thing is. Don't get me wrong, I'm still having a good time, I'm still enjoying the ideas, there's lots of good stuff in here, and it's absolutely worth the trouble, but I would not want to, you know. Sorry, Harry Tufts. You do good writing. I really appreciate your writing. Alright, we've almost made it, and I think we are free of the terrifying doors. Sure. We have enough carry space for yet another tablet. That's probably going to be next time we're over full, though. We're just throwing a bunch of tablets out into the dark. The spooky things that live out there can decipher them. Alright, back to Founder's Fire. You can petition the Circle to teach Pen Pusher their secrets. Yes, I think we will do that. Hold on, let's gather news. Rest and recover is pretty cheap here. We should probably do this. Go ahead and submerge ourselves in color and spectacle. Hey, cultural knowledge, hooray! A clucking family of chicken-headed pygmies stream past you, arguing loudly. A man with the hindquarters of a zebra lies in the gutter, one delicate leg bent wrongly, begging for coins. Oh, we've seen this before. And then, yeah, let's try to help our buddy Pen Pusher out a little bit, shall we? A summoner from the Circle is sent to teach you and Pen Pusher a few trade secrets. The summoner is bearded and muscular, but she wears skirts and speaks with the voice of a highborn lady. We must remember to never leave the Circle while a summoning is in progress. The Circle protects you from the strange forces at play. Salt, blood, and warding iron will shield you further. Summoning is both invitation and abduction. You will need symbolic representations of each. Incentives, gold, incense, wine. Coercions, chains, hooks, ivory needles. And you will need, of course, a powerful sacrifice. The greater the summoning, the more it will cost. After your final lesson, she asks you to perform a summoning, which we can probably do. You successfully summon a small yapping animal, somewhere between a dog, a porcupine, and a lizard. Pen Pusher pulls something huge and barnacle-encrusted from a distant ocean. It wallows in the classroom, vomiting bile and flailing its arms until it dies. Oh, I didn't want to kill anything, he says mournfully, but the teacher seems impressed. You have made excellent progress since you came here, she tells you, but Pen Pusher is still twisting his bowler hat in his hands and staring at the waterlogged corpse with teary eyes. Hey, we did actually get a stat point for that. So we got a dead beast, a living zoological specimen, probably a considerable amount of weight, and then I seduced the teacher, you know, so I could learn more. Her name is Adrienne, a junior summoner rising rapidly through the ranks. Yes, she enjoys wine, especially in conjunction with soft music in a jazz bar beneath the Founder. That night, you embrace beneath the sheets and share small pleasures. The feel of her beard on your face, the curve of her back, the oddly pleasant fragrance of wine and sweat. You whisper in her ear and ask impertinent questions. Oh, how dare I? The next morning, Pen Pusher is very excited by the new summoning techniques you show him, though he blushes furiously and fumbles his pocket watch when you mention spending time with Adrienne. He is adorable. Alright, so plus relationship, and we got laid. That went so well, exclaims Pen Pusher, splitting his face into a toothy grin. I've been reading my books, of course, but I'm very glad to get some practical experience. I think we're now ready to summon the Queen. We must gather the items we need. He retreats to his quarters. He has been studying his grimoires non-stop. We must have a pretty solid relationship with him by now. Oh, also, good cheap repairs. I'll take that. Alright, rest and recover is pretty cheap here, but also we're close to the cities, and probably we could just hold off until we reach the City of Angels. So, do we want to sell anything to Prince's Eye? I mean, we should probably sell some stuff, because we're looking to make an awful lot of money. But we can kind of make... We can make this stuff happen pretty much anywhere, right? We can make the sales pretty much anywhere. And I don't know if this is the place where we need more reputation. I think our reputation here is pretty solid. Yeah, I'm just going to skip. Let's see. Gunpowder, Dragon Spice. I'm pretty sure we don't need anything that they sell here. I do think we could sell them our Dangerous Beast. Oh wow, Zoological Specimen alive. Very valuable in this place. I think we have more than the one we need, right? Zoological Specimen. Boy, I wish I could Control F my cargo bay. Yes, we do in fact have 2 of them. I will gladly sell you 1 of them, because that's a lot of money. Alright, and the other one, you know, we could totally use if we can ever get, Cromlech repaired. Alright, I think this is probably a pretty good place to call it for today. Despite the spatial interruption, I think it's been a pretty productive one. I mean, we got a god killed. And we took part in a revolution, accidentally. Seems like we're doing a lot of that lately. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we'll see if we can't foment one more. And we'll see you then.